Strings. When I started playing, we used to buy these cathedral strings, they were called in England. And I still have some packets somewhere. And I think we could buy black diamond. I think you could buy black diamond strings in the 50s in England, you know. But of course, when the American guitars came in 1960, you know, we had the choice of, you know, Gibson Sonomatic and what else was there? I guess you could buy Guild strings at that time, Epiphone strings. So, you know, I bought these strings and they sounded great, you know, but, you know, I was listening to these guys doing all this bending. I thought, well, how are they doing that, you know? I mean, this was like 1959, 60, you know, and I saw there was a guy, an English guy on TV all the time. He was always doing his, doing all this bending, you know. His name was Joe Brown, and he's still around too, he's a good friend. What we figured out was through visiting Americans, you know, that these guys were using an unwound third string, and you know, one of the only ways to do that at the time was to buy a set of strings, get a really light banjo string or an extra first string, put that on the top, then where the second is, you put your first string, and then the second string where the third is, and so on. And then you throw away the most expensive string, the bottom string, you know, but that way you get your slinky strings, you know. And anyway, Ernie Ball had a music shop here in Tarzana in the 60s, and he saw all these guys coming in trying to make up sets of strings. He said, well, why don't I sell them like that, you know? So that's how Slinky started, you know, the Ernie Ball Slinky, you know, and it just opened up a whole new world for us, just to go and buy a set of strings that was ready for rock and roll, you know. You couldn't do that, you know, in 1960. Well, you certainly couldn't in England, anyway. I used 10 to 38 for a long time, and then when I was playing my telly with Emmylou, I was trying to get those really slinky James Burton bends, and he uses like an 8 down to a 38, and something silly like a 12 on the third string. You know, I don't know how he does it, but plays very light, you know. But I tried that for a while on my telly, you know, but then when I started playing these Music Mans, you know, they're slightly heavier frets, and there's a great sustain with them, you know, and I started to use heavier strings, you know. I was using like a 9 to a 42 for a while, but now I'm using a 10 to a 46, except that I'm using a 16 instead of a 17 on the third string, you know, but, you know, pretty much, you know, just a regular slinky, really. So, and I've been using these gauges now for quite a few years, which is unusual for me. I was always changing them, you know, and always changing guitars. And what shall I take? Shall I take the Les Paul tonight, or shall I take the telly? But I don't have that problem anymore because I've got my own guitar, and of course it's within my interest to play it. And but the bonus is it's a great guitar too, so I don't really miss the other guitars, you know.